Gold Squad TV. So I took some time, man, to really I want to make this short video because it takes forever to upload. But Wardlow's been on a tear the last 6-7 months, and most likely he's going to be your babyface champion and probably the face of the company for moving forward as an AEW build wrestler. Well, let's go back 2 years ago. Remember when AEW had Brian Cage? Brian Cage is exactly what Wardlow was supposed to be. Don't you ever find it weird that Wardlow is 10 times better than Brian Cage ever thought about being? And Brian Cage obviously used to be a cruiserweight before he got all diesel, and he's a short, muscular dude. But that was about it. A lot of those early AEW signings, like Brian Cage and Big Swole, obviously the circumstances just didn't work out. But Brian Cage, to me, was touted as the guy that was supposed to be what Wardlow is. And Wardlow came in the company around the same time Brian Cage did. If not, maybe a little bit before, right? He was MJF's heavy. Wardlow has had great matches. Wardlow has been a guy that has been dependable, and it's a guy that you could build your company around once he gets that next step. Brian Cage is out the company and probably WWE bound to be a mid-carder big dude at best. This dude legitimately had no mic skills for as big as he was. And yes, he was dominant in Impact. He was dominant in other promotions. But when he got to the big leagues like AEW, for him, that's a big leagues. He couldn't cut it. He just couldn't cut it. I don't think his comments by his wife had anything to do with it. I just think that when you really look at Brian Cage, outside of the muscles and maybe somewhat the wrestling ability, what did he have to offer? Not really much. You look at a guy like Wardlow, he's not only money as a look, he's not only money in the ring, but Wardlow is a guy that once he becomes babyface, is a guy you could build a company around for 10 years. When he's 43, 40 years old, he'll be probably the first AEW Hall of Famer based on being an AEW made star. And now, mind you, we know he was in the indies, but I'm saying as a product, a guy that came in the beginning of AEW, and he really came kind of out of nowhere outside of that little small indie promotion he was in. Come on, man. Like, this dude was legitimately going to be one of the from the ground up guys. Guys like Darby Allin, guys like, a lot of those guys like Darby Allin, for one, Sammy Guevara. I could keep naming names. Those guys are homebred AEW guys. Parring a guy like Jungle Boy is going to be money in about 5 years. A lot of the complaints about the AEW signing a lot of talent from the other promotion is overblown, because those guys are going to be putting over their stars, their young stars, in about 3-4 years. They're going to be putting those guys over. A guy like CM Punk, as legendary as he is, will be putting over Jungle Boy in about a couple years, if he's still with the company. MJF is another home-born, although he was an independent guy, and he was in the other company, not WWE, but the other company down there. And when he signed to AEW, he's pretty much homegrown. If you're going to talk about talent that never really got a chance in WWE or was never really signed by WWE outside of making a couple appearances. So, back to the Wardlow Brian Cage comparison, is really like Wardlow's what Brian Cage was supposed to be. But Wardlow's legitimately more of a big man, legitimately more fit for that role, to where I look at Brian Cage as a jacked up dude with okay wrestling ability and no promo skills. And it's not to say we don't know what Wardlow's promo skills are going to be yet, but something tells me he's going to be good. Gold Squad TV, leave a like, subscribe, let me know what you guys think. Peace.